Ladies, let's cut through the noise for a second. You've been told to look for mixed signals, to wait for the perfect moment, to decode every little thing a guy says or doesn't say. But the truth is, when a man is genuinely into you, he can't help but show it. Attraction isn't something that can be perfectly hidden. It leaks out in the way he looks at you, the way he touches his face when you're talking, even in the way he jokes around. When a man is truly into you, one of the most telling behaviors he exhibits is prolonged eye contact that lingers just a second too long. This isn't the kind of eye contact that feels routine or polite. It's loaded with something more: curiosity, admiration, maybe even a little nervousness. What makes it so powerful is that it often happens without him realizing it. The eyes are an involuntary window into how someone feels, and when attraction is genuine, a man will struggle to control the way he looks at you. He may try to play it cool, but his gaze will keep drifting back to you, as if he's unconsciously drawn to your presence. It's not just a glance, it's a moment. A small pause where everything else in the room fades and his attention rests fully on you. Even in group settings, he'll find a way to keep you in his visual field. Whether you're speaking or silently listening, his eyes keep checking in, noticing your reactions, your smiles, your energy. You might catch him locking eyes with you and then quickly looking away, as if you saw something he wasn't ready to reveal. That quick flicker of discomfort or shyness, that's actually confirmation. It's not disinterest, it's vulnerability. He knows his stare lingered too long, and now he's worried you might have picked up on what he's feeling. This back and forth tension creates a charged dynamic that's often more telling than anything he could say out loud. It's in these moments that you sense there's something deeper going on under the surface. You don't have to guess. It's written in his eyes. What's interesting is how eye contact shifts depending on his level of emotional investment. A man who's being polite will meet your eyes intermittently, mostly when he's responding to something you say. But a man who's into you, he watches you even when he's not directly engaging. He looks at your face when you're speaking to someone else. He glances at you when he thinks you won't notice. And when you catch him in the act, there's often that sheepish smile or the subtle clearing of his throat, as if to reset his posture and pretend nothing just happened. That little break in his composure is a clue. It's the giveaway that behind the confident front, there's a deeper level of attraction that he's not quite managing to mask. And the thing about this kind of eye contact is that it feels personal. It makes you feel seen in a way that isn't casual. He's not just observing you, he's noticing you, the details, the nuances, the little things that make you you. Maybe it's the way your eyebrows raise when you disagree, or the softness in your voice when you're describing something meaningful. He picks up on that, and his eyes hold yours just a bit longer, like he's silently telling you he's paying attention. This kind of gaze doesn't happen by accident. It's rooted in attraction, interest, and a desire to connect on a level that words alone can't express. One of the clearest signs a man is into you is when he starts unconsciously touching himself. His face, hair, neck, or adjusting his clothes when he's around you. These are not grand, dramatic gestures. In fact, they're often so subtle that they happen without him even realizing it. But that's exactly what makes them so revealing. When a man is attracted to someone, his body language changes on its own. His nervous system is more active, and as a result, he fidgets, grooms, and touches in ways that signal both excitement and a desire to appear more put together in front of you. You might see him smoothing his hair, adjusting his shirt, fixing his collar, or even rolling his sleeves up casually. These behaviors often happen as he's talking to you, or even just standing near you. Self-touching is a subconscious form of self-soothing, but in the context of attraction, it often serves a dual purpose, calming nerves and trying to look more attractive. Think about it. When someone is about to meet someone they admire or have a crush on, they instinctively check their reflection, adjust their outfit, or fix their posture. Now, imagine that instinct kicking in live, right in front of you, without him having time to prepare. That's exactly what these small grooming gestures are. A guy who suddenly becomes more aware of his appearance around you is feeling something. His body is preparing to be seen, to be noticed, and that awareness manifests in physical ways he may not even understand. Sometimes the gestures become repetitive. You'll see him rubbing the back of his neck, running a hand through his hair over and over, or touching his lips while listening to you talk. These actions are nervous, intimate, and they give away how much he's caught up in the moment. He's not doing this with everyone. This is something you trigger in him, especially when these behaviors spike right when you walk into the room or when you're speaking directly to him. It's a clear indicator of emotional and physical engagement. Another common sign is when he touches his watch, tugs on his sleeves, or adjusts his belt. These are classic attraction cues. They show that he's not just present, but he's subtly trying to manage how he appears in your eyes. He might not be saying anything flirtatious with his words, but his body is screaming, "I want to impress you." This is what makes body language such a powerful tool in reading attraction. It tells the truth even when someone is trying to stay composed. And then there's the moment when you notice he starts mirroring your movements. Maybe you cross your legs, and a few seconds later, so does he. Or you lean forward, and he does the same without thinking. This isn't coincidence. It's a form of unconscious syncing that happens when someone is highly attuned to you, emotionally and physically. His self-touching, grooming, and mirroring are small behaviors, but together they paint a big picture of someone who's very much into you without even trying to hide it. Playful teasing is one of the most unmistakable flirty behaviors men display when they're into someone, and it's often something they can't help but fall into naturally. When a guy likes you, his energy shifts around you. He becomes lighter, more animated, and finds little ways to connect through humor and banter. This isn't the kind of teasing that's hurtful or sarcastic in a passive-aggressive way. It's warm, fun, and designed to get a reaction from you. It could be a gentle jab about your coffee order, a nickname he invents just for you, or a comment about how you always run 5 minutes late. It's his way of engaging in a private joke, building rapport, and creating a special energy that's just between the two of you. When a man teases in a flirty way, it's often about testing comfort levels and establishing closeness without going too deep too soon. It's a dance, a way to playfully cross the line and then pull back, to see how you respond, to make you smile, and to create tension in a fun, non-threatening way. He may tease you about something he finds endearing, like the way you talk when you're excited or how passionate you get when discussing your favorite topic. But beneath that teasing is always a sense of admiration. He's paying attention to the little things and bringing them up not to criticize, but to connect. What makes this kind of teasing different from ordinary banter is the emotional undercurrent behind it. He's not teasing to win points or to look clever in front of others. He's doing it because he's drawn to you and wants to create moments that only make sense between the two of you. It's often his version of flirting when he isn't yet ready to say the words directly. The teasing becomes a bridge, letting him be bold and intimate without getting overly vulnerable right away. And often you'll notice he teases you differently than he does with others. It's more personal, more playful, and more frequent. That's because you hold a different space in his mind. He's paying more attention. And the teasing is his way of highlighting that. Sometimes the teasing is accompanied by a particular tone in his voice, slightly exaggerated, slightly challenging, like he's daring you to respond. This is part of the chemistry he's trying to build. He wants to see how quick you are, how playful you can be, how much you're willing to lean into that dynamic with him. And often teasing comes with proximity. He might lightly nudge your arm, mockingly roll his eyes at something you said, or shake his head with a grin when you challenge him back. It's a form of nonverbal flirtation layered into the conversation, and when he starts to show a quick smile after teasing you, waiting for your reaction, that moment reveals everything. It shows that he's not just having fun. He's deeply invested in how you respond, because the playfulness isn't just about humor, it's about connection. When a man is into you, one of the most instinctive and revealing behaviors he exhibits is finding excuses to be near you or create moments of physical closeness. This isn't just about attraction, it's about proximity. When someone feels a magnetic pull toward another person, they subconsciously try to close the physical distance. You'll notice that he positions himself next to you in group settings, takes the seat closest to you without thinking, or subtly shifts his body in your direction, even if the conversation includes other people. These moments may seem casual on the surface, but they're often deliberate moves rooted in a desire to feel more connected and to maintain your attention. He may not even be fully aware he's doing it. That's what makes this behavior so telling. It bypasses logic and planning. His body leads the way. Maybe you're at a social gathering, and he just happens to end up standing beside you again and again. Or maybe he offers to walk with you when you head out to grab something, even if he doesn't have a reason to go. These are subtle, low-risk ways to extend time with you, to make it feel natural for you two to be in each other's space. In his mind, being physically closer creates more opportunities for emotional bonding, light touches, private conversations, and shared moments that others might miss. What's also noticeable is how often he finds ways to brush against you in innocent but intentional ways. Maybe he lightly touches your arm when he laughs, reaches past you in a way that brings him close, or stands just slightly inside your personal space. He's testing that invisible line between platonic and flirty, waiting to see how comfortable you are with his presence. These small moments are like quiet signals. I want to be near you. I want to be part of your world, even if it's just for a few extra seconds. He's creating micro experiences that build familiarity and connection. Sometimes the closeness extends into shared experiences. He'll suggest grabbing coffee together, walking the same route, or teaming up for something minor, anything that gives a valid reason to spend more time in each other's company. And when you say yes, you'll notice how his energy subtly shifts. He relaxes a little, becomes more playful, more present. Physical nearness gives him more chances to observe you, listen to you, and show you who he is in a real, embodied way. It's no longer about words or appearances. It becomes about shared energy. He may also subtly guard the space around you, stepping in to stand between you and a crowd, holding the door longer than necessary, or placing a hand on your back as you move through a busy space. These gestures, though small, are deeply revealing. They come from a place of wanting to protect, to guide, to be useful, all instincts that show up when someone genuinely cares. His consistent effort to create closeness, to share your space, and to physically align himself with you becomes one of the clearest indicators that his interest isn't just casual. When a man is into you, one of the most noticeable shifts in his behavior is a sudden boost in confidence or a surge of nervous energy whenever you're around. Attraction has a way of either making someone feel empowered or completely flustered, and in many cases, it does both at the same time. You'll see it in how he enters the room. Maybe he stands a little taller, his voice becomes more animated, or he starts making bolder jokes just to see you laugh. That energy spike is his way of subconsciously trying to impress you. He wants to be seen in the best light, so his body language adjusts accordingly. He may straighten his posture, exaggerate his movements, or take up a little more space when he knows you're watching. All of this is his internal confidence meter kicking into high gear, driven by the presence of someone who excites him. But confidence and nerves often show up together, which creates a fascinating mix of behaviors. While one part of him is trying to be smooth and charismatic, another part is quietly freaking out about whether he's doing too much or not enough. That inattention reveals itself in the small, involuntary gestures like him stumbling over his words, laughing a bit too loudly at your jokes, or tapping his foot without realizing it. It's like his system is overstimulated. You've activated something in him, and now he's trying to manage it while still keeping his cool. This makes him seem both endearing and genuinely affected by your presence, which is a strong indicator of real attraction. You might also notice that he becomes more talkative around you, even if he's generally more quiet or reserved. Suddenly, he has stories to share, questions to ask, and reasons to keep the conversation going. This is not random. It's the result of a deep desire to connect and make an impression. He wants you to know who he is, what he thinks, what he values. Even if he's a bit clumsy in the delivery, the effort is always noticeable. He's stepping out of his comfort zone for the chance to be seen by you, to matter in your eyes, and to stand out in a way that draws you closer. Alternatively, if he's more shy or introverted, the nervous energy might show up as withdrawal or fidgeting. He may not say much, but his body gives him away. He avoids eye contact too long, shifts in his seat, or plays with his hands while you speak. His mind is racing, not because he's uninterested, but because he cares too much about making a good impression. That overthinking can create visible tension, but even that is a form of flattery. It means your presence affects him enough to disrupt his usual rhythm, whether it's expressed as an increase in boldness or an awkward charm. The emotional charge is the same. His behavior shifts the moment you walk into the room, because something in him wants to rise to the occasion, even if he's not quite sure how. When a man is genuinely into you, one of the most powerful and revealing behaviors is how hyper-aware he becomes of your reactions. This isn't casual or surface-level attention. It's a deeper kind of focus where he's observing everything about how you respond to him. He watches your face when you laugh, notices the subtle changes in your tone, tracks your body language, and pays close attention to your energy in different situations. This isn't about being controlling or overly intense. It's about being emotionally tuned in. His interest in you has created a heightened state of awareness, where your opinion and feelings suddenly matter more than anyone else's in the room. You'll notice it in conversation, as he speaks, His eyes are often scanning your face, not in a performative way, but in an instinctive one. He's looking to see if you're amused, if you agree, if he made you smile. And when you do smile or laugh, there's usually a reaction from him, a slight lean in, a wider grin, maybe a visible breath of relief or satisfaction. That's because your approval is significant to him. It validates his effort and reassures him that he's on the right track. Whether he's being funny, telling a story, or just making small talk, he's not just thinking about what he's saying, he's deeply focused on how you're responding to it. This kind of awareness shows up in how he adjusts his behavior too. If you seem uncomfortable, he'll change the subject. If you seem excited, he'll lean into that energy and try to keep it going. He adapts not to manipulate, but because he genuinely wants you to feel good when you're around him. Your emotions guide his actions, and he's constantly checking in even if it's non-verbal. You'll feel it in how he mirrors your pace in a conversation, or how he becomes quiet just to give you space when needed. That sensitivity to your emotional state is one of the clearest signs that he's not just interested in your looks, but in your experience of him. You might also notice that when someone else is talking to you, he's still watching you, seeing how you engage, how you light up, how you react to others. It's not jealousy necessarily, it's attentiveness. He wants to understand you, figure out what excites you, what annoys you, what you're passionate about. His emotional radar is constantly scanning because being around you heightens his awareness. This goes beyond flirty remarks or occasional compliments. This is someone studying the small details that most people miss. The way you fidget with your hands, the way your face softens when you're touched by something, the little quirks that make you unique, and every time you react, he stores that information, learning you piece by piece, not because he has to, but because he can't help it. When a man is this dialed into you, it's not just attraction. It's investment, it's presence, and it's an unspoken declaration that your emotions are his focus. When a man is genuinely into you, one of the most powerful and revealing behaviors is how aware he becomes of your reactions. This isn't casual or surface-level attention. It's a deeper kind of focus where he's observing everything about how you respond to him. He watches your face when you laugh, notices the subtle changes in your tone, tracks your body language, and pays close attention to your energy in different situations. This isn't about being controlling or overly intense. It's about being emotionally tuned in. His interest in you has created a heightened state of awareness where your opinion and feelings suddenly matter more than anyone else's in the room. You'll notice it in conversation. As he speaks, his eyes are often scanning your face not in a performative way, but in an instinctive one. He's looking to see if you're amused, if you agree, if he made you smile. And when you do smile or laugh, there's usually a reaction from him, a slight lean in, a wider grin, maybe a visible breath of relief or satisfaction. That's because your approval is significant to him. It validates his effort and reassures him that he's on the right track. Whether he's being funny, telling a story, or just making small talk, he's not just thinking about what he's saying, he's deeply focused on how you're responding to it. This kind of awareness shows up in how he adjusts his behavior too. If you seem uncomfortable, he'll change the subject. If you seem excited, he'll lean into that energy and try to keep it going. He adapts not to manipulate, but because he genuinely wants you to feel good when you're around him. Your emotions guide his actions, and he's constantly checking in, even if it's non-verbal. You'll feel it in how he mirrors your pace in a conversation, or how he becomes quiet just to give you space when needed. That sensitivity to your emotional state is one of the clearest signs that he's not just interested in your looks, but in your experience of him. You might also notice that when someone else is talking to you, he's still watching you, seeing how you engage, how you light up, how you react to others. It's not jealousy necessarily, it's attentiveness. He wants to understand you, figure out what excites you, what annoys you, what you're passionate about. His emotional radar is constantly scanning because being around you heightens his awareness. This goes beyond flirty remarks or occasional compliments. This is someone studying the small details that most people miss. The way you fidget with your hands, the way your face softens when you're touched by something, the little quirks that make you unique, and every time you react, he stores that information, learning you piece by piece, not because he has to, but because he can't help it. When a man is this dialed into you, it's not just attraction. It's investment, it's presence, and it's an unspoken declaration that your emotions are his focus.